Hey guys, and welcome back to my Champions Online Archery Archetype series, episode 4. In this episode, we'll be following the American Avenger through Westside as he confronts many of Foxbat's minions, takes down Foxbat himself in the WCOC news station, and does various side quests here in Westside. Right now, we're going to watch him do 2 quests from Julia Morgan. We have No Country for Old Comics and Comic Extortion. Now, I want to talk a little bit about No Country for Old Comics, as it is a bit different than most. This is one of the few missions still left over in Champions Online that is not group-friendly. Now, in this mission, you have to collect 10 comic book boxes. The problem is, when you pick up a comic book box, only you get credit for it, not your group. This means that if you are in a group, you have to pick up 10 boxes individually for each member. Additionally, when in a group of 3 or more people, henchmen from a group you attack will run off and alert other groups. This increases the difficulty of the fight, and is not limited to when you're close to each other. This can easily overwhelm some players, especially DPS and healers. Now in this, we also run up against camera bots. Now camera bots are quite fun, and rather funny. However, they do have a rather interesting hold ability. You'll see it with the yellow BAM attack over their heads. This hold seems to be a little erratic, as sometimes it will go straight through your block. I have several times been blocking when hit with it, only to let go of my block and then be hit with a full hold duration. It is rather amusing though, watching your character pose for the camera. I have to say, I've really been enjoying the Archery Archetype, especially the Torrent of Arrows ability. The ability to destroy entire groups of henchmen in one shot before they have a chance to react is rather nice, especially considering how weak in hit points and damage resistance this character is. Well, it looks like I'm almost done with this mission. I only have 2 more boxes to collect. One's right here, and there's also one in the alleyway behind me. It's often forgotten, as it's a little hidden and out of the way, but no one guards it, so it's a real easy pickup. Next, we're going to do Comic Extortion. Comic Extortion also has a small quirk. You have to rescue 2 civilians from Foxbat gang members. The quirk is that the civilians don't recognize that you have saved them for probably about 6 seconds. This can throw off people as they think they have, completed the mission while the guy just stands there. If this happens to you, don't worry about it. They will eventually realize they have been saved and run away. Oop. And it looks like I was able to block that hold, whereas the one before it I was hit with. At least the camera bots are amusing. So I've been thinking about the American Avenger's backstory. More importantly, that he doesn't have one. I didn't take the time when making him to come up with an elaborate backstory, a name for his alter ego, the whole 9. And I'm regretting that decision now. But I do think it provides me with a good opportunity to engage you, the audience, in helping me craft this character's backstory. Looking at his behavior, the way he approaches fights, the way he deals with nearly being defeated, the way he moves through the city, the way he interacts with people, I'd like to see what we can come up with for his character traits. Not just his character traits, but also his alter ego name. Please take advantage of the space below in the comments to let me know what you think his character should be like. So here we've hit level 12, and we get ranks and advantages, a talent, and specializations. No powers for this level. For the talent, I took another 2-stat boost. I like the 2-stat boosts better because they give you 5 points to each stat rather than 8 to 1. This is especially important as for this character I'm trying to boost up 4 different stats. His dexterity, his ego, his intelligence, and his endurance. I also put another point into combat training, giving me better critical strike. And I only have 1 advantage point, which would be great for accelerated metabolism. However, I don't have an ability that really would benefit from accelerated metabolism, so instead I'm going to save it. This next mission we're going to go to is the first rule. Now, this is the first time you get to go into one of these gyms. This gym can be a little tough as it is a tight space full of people, and you can easily become overwhelmed if you attract too many groups. This is especially dangerous with the archery power set, as you have punch through or piercing with your torrent of arrows. And I took those guys down like a boss. However, most of the people in here are just going to be regular henchmen. They should fall fairly quickly to my torrent of arrows. And there I'm able to take out 2 groups with 1 shot. It's quite a nice ability to have. It has, however, gotten me in trouble a couple times hitting a group from that far away and not realizing they were behind the group I was currently targeting. A beautiful 10-point landing, followed by a torrent of arrows. These guys in here do not stand a chance. The only thing that's going to beat me up in here is the walls as I swing around. I do seem to have a limit to 5 people with my torrent of arrows. Every time I fire it, I kill 5 of 6, it seems. I'm not sure if that's a hard-coded limit or if I'm just getting lucky. See, there we go again. Kill 5 of the 6. Oh, hello. And gained the attention of another group entirely. Well, that's okay. Another torrent of arrows. That is by far my most used ability. I still do like the Sonic Arrow for its stun and its disorientation. Oof. Into a pipe and then right into a brick wall. These walls are going to beat me up terribly. As I was saying, I do like the Sonic Arrow for its stun and its disorientation. But the AoE distance on it is not nearly as high as the torrent of arrows. And it does occasionally leave people standing. However, I do think I'll mix it up and use it here. I killed 1, almost killed another. Still, torrent of arrows would have done better. If I had used it here instead, I think I probably would have had better results. They're much closer together. Well, that's 5 of the 6. Now we need to go to the upstairs platform and rescue the final... another wall. We need to use that in more open areas. Up here we'll find the last of the 6 hostages. We can rescue him. Once again, 5 of the 6. I'm starting to think it is hard-coded in. If I remember next time, I'll check the ability and see if it states how many people can be hit by it. Oh, well, I did not know this was up here. It's pretty cool. We'll skip ahead now a little bit to King Pong. This mission has changed a lot over the years. It actually was in the original beta, but was quite a bit more difficult. I remember coming into this mission with several of my characters and being mercilessly slaughtered by Foxbat's minions. Only a few of my characters, the toughest of them, were able to get through this in one try. I very quickly learned this is a mission that you would do with a group. However, they have since redone it, and it is quite a bit easier now, much more geared towards the solo player. I will warn you, be careful of the ping pong balls. Standing in their area will cause you to trip and fall, which is required in this part. You have to fall to start the ambush. This ambush part was what would kill most of my characters. There used to be quite a few more Foxbat bots. Oh, What a terrible shot. Both of them just outside of the arc. I thought I was going to get all three. Alright, so we have successfully defended against the ambush, but I'm going to stay here and clean up the remaining Fox BattleBots. Even with it being easier, you can see I nearly die. This is a testament to how fragile this character is if one's not paying attention. But back here in the back is a radio with a message from Foxbat for you, and it's full of rather bad food puns. An interesting read, and a good little Easter egg. Now we'll fast forward and go to Dragon Brawl and Kung Fu Muscle. For Dragon Brawl, we have to escort Mia Zin out of this area. She's over there with a question mark over her head. And for Kung Fu Muscle, we have to kill collection agents. Now this does recommend 2 people, but I think that's over-exaggerating the difficulty of the mission. One can easily do this solo, you just have to be careful not to aggro too many groups at once. They are tightly compacted, so it would be easy to run into more than one group. Or if you have a ability with piercing, like archery, or the minigun from Power Armor, I can definitely see you hitting more than one group on accident and getting overwhelmed. That being said, as long as you're a little bit careful, this mission is not hard. I do dislike the magicians, simply because they do have one ability that renders them invisible to you if you don't block it, and sometimes even when you do. This means they can beat on you with impunity until their invisibility wears off, with you being unable to retaliate unless you have a targetless area attack, much like Lead Tempest, or the damage aura from the Electricity archetype. Now, as with all escort missions, we need to stay close to her, not only to protect her, but also if we get too far away, we can fail the mission. If she reaches the end of her track before we are not within a certain distance, we will fail. Now, Champions has made a lot of effort to mention that you are not killing these bad guys, you are simply not rendering them unconscious. Point in case being the Nemesis series of missions, where your Nemesis comes back time and time again. However, after shooting people with rather large broadhead arrows, I don't think they're going to get back up. In thinking about it, arrows, swords, guns, fire, electricity, these all don't really tend to render people unconscious. I'm gonna wait here for a minute to let her catch up. I definitely need to clear out my inventory. Getting a little full. Oh, hello. A citizen mission. Alright, I need to go rescue some Argent scientists that have already escaped. I think they'll be fine. And that had to hurt. Alright, well, she's safe. Then we go assassinate this guy in the alleyway right next to the woman who just asked me to help her save some people. And by right next to her, I mean right next to her. I think the Punisher will be proud. Next, we're going to skip ahead to my favorite mission.
How dare you interrupt my newscast? I'm Rob Mahogany, Millennium City's most beloved newscaster.
Sorry, pal. You've just been preempted by the Foxbat Show, coming to you live and in thrilling Foxovision.
You can't do this. Do you know who I am? I have a mansion filled with fancy books and rich Corinthian leather. I'm kinda important, darn it.
Nobody is more important than Foxbat. And after I take down a few superheroes on live TV, I'll have the ratings to prove it.
You've gotta love the Anchorman references throughout this entire mission. Very well put together. Well, there I go, posing again. Seems like a perfect opportunity for another torrent of arrows. And a soundbot. How ironic. I will use a sonic arrow and get attacked from the side by another group. Alright. Thankfully I have my torrent of arrows ready again. Oh, I'm able to take out all three. I happened to line up just right at the end there. Rock landman. Yet another soundbot and a sonic arrow. There, we've rescued Victoria Crownstone. I like the posters on the wall of all the Anchorman characters. Next, we go to the server room. The damage on this character is quite nice. There, we'll rescue Ryan Santana. And last, we'll rescue Chapman Kind. Now, that sign right next to me that says, today's code, while blank now, will actually be used later on during a Nemesis mission when you come back here. It will have a 4-digit code that will tell you the order in which to turn off the servers. Now, Foxbat has gotten a lot easier over the years as well. He used to be incredibly challenging. Now, while he still can be a challenge, he's not nearly as difficult as he once was. I do love that all of his abilities are straight out of the Acme playbook.
I rule the world, and you'll follow me around.
Oh, thank goodness. Following him around for an eternity carrying a box of donuts is not a fate I wanted for my character. Alright, and that will bring us to the end of this episode. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below, and please subscribe if you liked the video. Don't forget to put your comments down in the video for what you think of the American Avenger and what his personality would be. Thanks, guys.